still, the world still moves. I'm counting sheep to try to fall asleep, wondering why I'm the only one.
All right, everyone. That was Illusions by Approaching Nirvana, one of my favorite chip tune bands slash EDM bands. They are awesome. They'll also copyright free as long as you note it as on the stream we got here. So, welcome, guys. I'm Ray Ron. Wing hugs to everyone out there, to current and to future listeners. Welcome back to the Icey Lair podcast, episode 4. Let's go ahead and start this shenanigans, shall we? All right. So it's been a fairly decent week. So we've got SpaceX was in the news a lot this week. We've got a movie that epically bombed, which we'll kind of talk about here shortly. Disney Plus kind of give us the crap spam on Disney Plus Day. Whole bunch of shows that they're going to be producing to consume. We'll take a look at that. And then we'll just wrap it up with some good stuff. So with that, guys, let's go ahead and dive right into it. So this was, I believe, the second week of the Internals. Definitely a movie I am not interested in, don't have any care for it. And as soon as my computer cooperates, we will look at just how badly it did on the second week. Assuming that, okay, here we go. All right, so this is coming from Forbes. The Marvel Eternals dropped an expectedly harsh 74.6% on Friday, earning just about 8 million and bringing its 8-day consumed to about 99 million. The MCU flick should cross 100 million today, or just one day faster than The Incredible Hulk after the 2008 release 55 million midsummer debut. The Friday to Friday drop is the third worst drop for the MCU title, behind only Black Widow, which fell 80% from a 39 million Friday, and Ant-Man and the Wasp that tumbled 75% from a 33 million Friday. Yeah, not looking great for the Internals. A lot of reviews that I have seen / heard is that it's just not great. And it's like, it shows 74.6% drop. No one's interested in this. And I went to my local theater, and it's like there was no lines for a Friday and Saturday. It was bad. I actually debated I came close to watching Clifford, to be honest. And I would dare say that Clifford the Big Red Dog is close to passing Internals. We'll see what happens next weekend. But I know we have the wonderful Ghostbusters Afterlife coming out, so I'm definitely excited to see that one. I think that comes out next weekend. Let's see here. When does Ghostbusters come out? I believe it's next weekend. Let's see here. When do you come out? Release date November 19th. So yes, it does come out next weekend. So I am definitely going to see that. I'll probably be the movie either I watch Friday or Saturday. I'm excited for it. I just want something good to watch. It's been a while since I've been to the movie theaters. I think the last movie I saw in theaters was sadly enough The Rise of Skywalker, just because I wanted to keep my kind of birthday tradition going and seeing a movie on my birthday. So, yeah, and that was a shitty movie. But, yeah, it's been almost 2 years since I've been to a movie theater. When did The Rise of Skywalker come out? I believe it was, let's see, Rise of Skywalker, 2019. Yeah, 2 years. Wow. Been 2 years. But yes, I am definitely looking forward to Ghostbusters The Afterlife. But then, yeah, it just goes to show you, we're slowly starting to see the so-called consumers are saving their money. They're going elsewhere. They are going elsewhere. I don't think they can blame the pandemic anymore. I think these people are just wanting to spend their money in better places. And again, this is probably a stretch, but the mass majority, I don't want to say mass majority, but there's a good sized populace here in California. And you got to keep in mind that California, what's the populace of California? Let's see, populace of California. 39.51 million people living in California. That's the most people in one state, looks like. Yep, because Texas is second at 29 million and Florida is third, 21.48. Again, probably no correlation, but again, just maybe some potential evidence that I can give in that, We've got a populous state here in California with 39.51 million people, and we got a drop of 74.6. You know, people are just not watching this. Not to mention that it's just expensive to see. When you have your most populous state, again, this is no correlation. This is just a suggestion that it's getting expensive to watch movies. Because tax in California is 8.25%. And it's like, I'm not going to spend that much money on a movie, especially when it's this bad. Especially when I'm not connecting with these characters. And it's like, I have to give the credit to EFAP. Those wonderful people on there, Mahler, Rags, Fringy, their chat, their community, the fellowship, I should say. They brought up a good point that with our superheroes, our latest superheroes, they're getting really disconnected from humanity. That we're just a side show, essentially. And it's like, I want to be kind of connected. I don't want to mimic real life, but I do want to feel connected just from a standpoint that I can learn something to be a better human. You know, that's what, in my personal opinion, these stories should be setting the example for how, you know, we should inspire to be a human and so forth. And we're just not getting it. We're not connecting to these characters. We're not enjoying the escapism. Yeah, it's sad. Really is sad. 74.6%. Third worst Marvel movie. Here we are. You know, who would have thought? But again, it also doesn't feel like that this universe is connected. We're starting to see it fragment. And it's like, with the Eternals, you know, they go back in time to deal with this planets, or the way they basically create space in this universe. And it's like, it's hard for me to say anything they go in the past. I think about Kane or Khan or whatever heck they call him in the Loki miniseries. It's like, okay, Kane wanted it this way. Oh, okay, this timeline, that's all Kane. Kane. So, yeah, it's disappointing. And it's just a universe that I'm starting not to care about. Just like Star Wars. Just like Star Wars. Which leads us to our next topic of the day. Star Wars. How broken can we make this? Leaked sizzle reel gives first look at Obi-Wan Kenobi Disney Plus series. A leaked sizzle reel from Disney Plus has given us audiences the first look at the upcoming Obi-Wan Kenobi series, or solo series, including the promised rematch between Jedi Master and former Padawan turned Sith Lord Darth Vader, which is completely BS. It is completely BS. The fact that they're going to reunite and fight once again. Leaked just one day ahead of Friday Disney Plus Day, wherein the House of Mouse is set to give subscribers a preview of its upcoming offerings. The sizzle reel features both concept art for Obi-Wan Kenobi series and interviews with its cast. There's a hunger for a character to come back, says star Ewan McGregor as the minute-long video begins. The fans have been waiting long enough, you know. Yeah, not really, not for this. What fans? What fans? This really, I mean, the only way that they can pull this off is another fight on Mustafar. If they want to keep the canon and the lore together in A New Hope, this fight has to be on Mustafar. To, you know, for that line that we got on A New Hope when they were on the Death Star. For the final confrontation. You know, Darth Vader says, I'm paraphrasing here, that you left me to die on Mustafar. Now I am the master, you know. Only a master of evil, Darth. That frustrates me to no end that they're going to be fighting again. And as I said, the only way they're going to do it is they got to be on Mustafar. And if they don't, then they're going to need to create an alternate timeline. which I cannot begin to tell you how annoyed and burnt out I am on timelines. I am tired of time being a vessel for the plot and for the story. Okay, the video turns to series director Debro Co. I'm curious, what other things have you done? Because that's one thing I have definitely been paying more attention to, is who is directing / writing these things. So I'm really curious, what has this person done? Okay, it's a she. Okay, so let's take a look at the career. Oh my goodness. Okay. Started in 2013 with Copper, the show. Season 2, episode 8, so 1 episode there. Rain, 6 episodes. Murdoch Mysteries, 2 episodes. Beauty and the Beast, 1 episode. Mr. Robot, 1 episode. Turn Washington Spies, 1 episode. The Vampire Diaries, 1 episode. Fear the Walking Dead, 2 episodes. Tyrant, 1 episode. Marvel's Iron Fist, 1 episode. Should I, 1 episode. Marvel's Jessica Jones, 1 episode. Lost in Space, 1 episode. Okay, the rest of these are going to be 1 episode. Better Call Saul, The Man in the High Castle, American Gods, and then The Mandalorian, 2 episodes. So a lot of history of shows that, I mean, I recognize Marvel's Iron Fist, Jessica Jones, Man in the High Castle, Mandalorian, obviously. But all these other ones I'm just not familiar with. And then she's going to have the full reign of the Obi-Wan Kenobi episodes 1 through 6. So it's very interesting. I don't want to say she's definitely not a newbie. She's got experience in the television world, so we shall see. But again, I can't get excited for this. And reason being is because all roads lead to Rey. You know, when you think about it, all roads lead to Rey. All the Sith, all the Jedi. Rey Palpatine, essentially. Okay. Who explains this is a quick and dark time that we're coming into with him. Just being a Jedi, it's not safe. There's Jedi hunters out there. He has one task left, which is to keep Luke safe, adds McGregor. To which Chow replies, that's definitely a starting place for a story. The interesting part will be where it goes from there. We know where it goes. It goes to A New Hope. Where it goes. Come on. I mean, this ship's okay. It's Star Wars-ish thing. But I feel like I wish this was past. I don't know. The sequels really damaged the whole freaking Star Wars lore. And then we got some more concept art. Oh, look, there's Darth Vader. 6 episodes. So this is probably going to be what? 1 episode we're looking at here, 2, probably 3, 4. They have a lot to cram in. What are they going to do in those 6 episodes? Oh, I cannot begin to tell you how much I'm not looking forward to this fight. Like I said, if they want to stay consistent, they have to do it again on Mustafar. Which I'm not sure how much people are burnt out from the prequels. But again, it just feels like member berries they have to do as well. Oh, remember the time that they fought in Revenge of the Sith? You know, debatable as the better of the 3 with the epic long fight that is debatable if it's good or not. I personally liked it. But again, it just feels like member berries. Like, oh, remember this? Oh, we're going to give it to you again. But now it's going to be Darth Vader and Obi-Wan. Now you get to see him fight in his armor. I don't know. I don't care for it. I have no plans to watch this. Star Wars, as I know, like I said, I'm staying with the original trilogy, the prequels, and then I jump off to the EU. I'm pulling a Disney and going to the multiverse and going to the universe that has the expanded universe. Because those books are just really freaking good. When I have time, I'm going to continue reading on the Heart of the Jedi. That's where I'm starting my EU adventure, and I'll eventually go into the Thrawn trilogy and so forth. I just think there's more. There's more there. There's more Star Wars as I foresee it. So, yeah, Star Wars. Not. This is Disney fan fiction, Star Wars. Not the Star Wars I care about, and more importantly, not what I'm gonna put money towards. I'll put my money towards the EU. I will put my money towards the EU. All right, let's talk about something that I'm definitely passionate about, and that is space, real life lore, human lore. So SpaceX has had one hell of a week. So they had Crew 2 of Dragon splash down, while damn near at the same time they had Crew 3 launching into space to the ISS. And then just recently, they've launched the latest Falcon 9 with 53 Starlink satellites. Now this is going to be interesting because this is going to be another company that's going to compete against, the normal internet providers. But again, it is satellites, and me personally, I haven't had really great experience with satellites just because of weather and line of sight issues. So we'll see if this is better for what Elon Musk is going to be doing. But obviously his target audience right now is the rural areas. So he has launched an additional 59 satellites into space, which, man, it's just great getting a lot of these shots. And we can see right here, this is the deployment of the satellites here. I was hoping to get a video of this, but doesn't look like we're going to get it. But yeah, these photos are just amazing. And I'm passionate about this because this is our future. Granted, there is some debate about, people calling space the billionaires club. But the way I look at it is that I think SpaceX has done more than NASA ever could. And it comes down to bureaucracy. NASA is a government-run agency it's heavily bureaucratic. It comes down to the direction and politics of what the president wants to take it, and then obviously Congress approves of it. And, with the retirement of the space shuttle, NASA was put back, I think, because of that. And then the funding was always up for debate. So in order for us, as I see it from the humans, from a species standpoint, regardless of who's pushing the way forward, with SpaceX, debatable with Blue Orion, with Boeing, with ULA, having these companies compete against each other for government contracts, I personally think that's the better way to go because we're getting great innovations forward. Now, obviously, just like in the flying world, you got to have government oversight, rules and regulations and standards and safety and so forth. We have the FAA for airlines. I see NASA taking on that role when it comes to space. And then it's really going to be interesting to see how the international community then evolves towards that. Because what's interesting is that space is becoming commercialized. And what I mean by that is we're starting to see these companies now start to have assets into space. Granted, all we have right now is the International Space Station, but Blue Orion, and I can see Boeing and SpaceX slowly start to have their own ISS and moon hotels and ISS hotels equivalents and so forth. We're kind of seeing that now. So we'll see. But I think, again, we're a couple of decades away, I think, from seeing that happen. I'm just hoping that in my lifetime, we can get a man on Mars. I'm really hoping I'll be alive to see that. Some epic shots. All right, and then obviously the other big news. Actually, I forgot about this news. So NASA gave a contract to SpaceX, the $2.9 billion lunar lander contract. So Jeff Bezos of the Blue, it's not Blue Moon, it's Blue Origin or something like that, filed a lawsuit and was thrown out. Yep, which was a huge win for SpaceX. And then, so something else I kind of want to highlight is that good old SpaceX had another feat today or this week. So this is from NASA spaceflight, but this is Starship 20. Now, if you're not following this, this is the rocket that is supposed to be designed to get us to the moon and get us to eventually Mars. That's kind of the big focus. And right now out in Texas, they've got basically a star base that they're making where they have these giant mecha claw things that essentially is going to grab the booster, which you can kind of see in the back here that Starship's going to be riding on. And this week, they were able to do a static test of the first 6 engines on a Starship.
My browser just...
Oh, I love that. And that was it. You know, it was very quick, very to the point. Obviously, you don't want to fire it at full capacity for long because then it's going to go into, it's going to fly on you. But it was a quick couple second static fire test of all 6 Raptor engines, which Elon Musk reported that it was a success. So again, this is another stepping stone to get it into orbit to eventually get us to the moon and eventually get us to Mars. Because I think the original Starships, 19 and previous, they only had 3 Raptor engines just to test the maneuvers that they were going to do in the atmosphere, which were eventually successful, which also led to a lot of epic crashes. But yeah, this is very exciting to see where this is going to go. Good old space. Yeah, SpaceX kind of reminds me of Kerbal Space Program a lot. And I've actually, because of SpaceX and all this wonderful news that we're seeing with them, I got back into KSP, and I'm starting to do a Let's Play of that on my other gaming channel that you'll find down in the descriptions. Because I love space and I love Kerbal Space Program. Wonderful, wonderful. All right, so I think the last topic I want to go over, going back to Disney, because Disney blessed us with all sorts of wonderful crap. So just recently, they just had their Disney Plus Day. Single new shows and movies have been announced. Now, there's something else I want to bring up real quick behind the scenes here. We'll talk about it here in a minute. Good old Disney. Okay. And that's what I want to bring up. Okay. So, Disney Plus Day was announced. Avery, how you doing? Wing hugs. Welcome, welcome. Yeah, SpaceX. I love where things are going with space. Like, that's always going to be a strong segment with this podcast because, I always try to look at the good side of life. I know a lot of great content creators out there are trying to fight for our entertainment because our escapism is definitely under attack. But I also look at the good side of humanity, and space exploration is definitely one thing I am passionate about. So cannot wait. How you doing today? But wonderful Disney gave us their wonderful new serving of crap. All right, so let's take a look at this to see how bad it is. So cheaper by the dozen. I have no desire for that. Enchanted, never cared for it. Yes, wing hugs. All the wing hugs. Oh, and my stupid... Hang on, let me fix something really quick here. Let's see. I don't know why this code always resets with OBS. But it does. Yay, there we go. There's the wing hugs. Okay, let me fix something really quick. Pop this back out. There we go. Oh, now I broke it. Yep, I officially broke it. Oh, I know what I did wrong. Yay, technical difficulties. Okay. Copy. And paste. Yep, there we go. Alright, so we've got Disenchanted. I don't care about it. Diary of a Wimpy Kid. Animated. Yeah, no thank you. Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers. So this one's interesting because Disney has, again, another problem with remaking things of their own library. And the one case in point I want to look at is DuckTales. Had David Tennant as the main character for DuckTales. I watched a few episodes and was like, this is like not... The voice actors I think were kind of wrong. So I'm not interested at all with Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers. I'll stick with the original. It's been the best. And it's like when we look at these remakes, it's being remade for our times. You know, our times is really politically correct, censored, and so forth. You know, we can't hide those small little jokes behind the scenes as the old Disney used to do. So again, Rescue Rangers, meh. Better Nate Than Never, garbage. Hocus Pocus 2, don't care. Pinocchio, yeah, I don't care. Limitless, Puts the Bounds of Human Potential, okay. Chris Helmsworth, that could be interesting, but again, it's on Disney Plus, and it's like, meh. Welcome to Earth with Will Smith. I don't care about Will Smith. No, just don't care. Sneakerella? Sneakerella? Yeah, no thank you. I mean, what? A classic fairy tale with a new heart and soul. So this is Cinderella, a remake of Cinderella in modern times. Again, do we have to mention all the previous bad adaptations that Disney has done lately? The so-called Lion King, Mulan. Like, no, it doesn't work. The Proud Family, Louder with Prouder. No, thank you. High School Musical. No, thank you. I will stay away from that. The Spiderwick Chronicles. Okay. Willer. Filled you guy with a world of fantasy. Spiderwick Chronicles. Live action original series based on the best-selling books is coming to Disney Plus. Okay, never read the books, so I have no interest. Looks like some Meet the Cast. Cars on the Road, new Pixar series based on the movie franchise coming in 2022. Great. So Cars is getting their Disney Plus series. Obi-Wan Kenobi, which I've already talked about. Win or Lose. What's this based off of? Turning Red, Lightyear. Yeah, no thank you. Zootopia Plus. Great. So now Zootopia is going to be getting their own series. Could be interesting. I was definitely a fan of Zootopia the movie. But again, built in modern day Disney, I'm not, yeah. And that's the thing too. They could put. I'm looking at this right now. It's like, I think I'll. That's a hard pass. Tiana. Musical series. Yeah, no, not interested. So here's another one that has been drawing some controversy. X-Men 97. Yes, it's real. Disney announced a new animated X-Men series coming to 2023. It's unclear if something totally original or a continuation of the classic animated series. But either way, we can't wait. I think we can. Because the animated series, I think, has been one of the more better X-Men. I mean, the movies did a good job too, but I grew up with the animated series for sure. I mean, their intro song it screams 80s and 90s. And the fact that we still don't know if this is going to be a remake or if this is going to be just a continuation, we'll see. We'll see what happens. X-Men freshman year. I don't care about Spider-Man. Like, Tobey Maguire was my Spider-Man. I liked 1 and 2, hated 3. We'll see how far our No Way Home goes. That's going to be my determination if I continue to like Spider-Man or not. Because I'm trying to give a chance to Tom Holland Spider-Man. But I'm not... I grew up with Tobey Maguire, and that's what makes it so hard. That's what makes it so hard. It's all going to come down to No Way Home. Which, again, I've done my initial thoughts on the trailer. And again, I have a lot of concerns. And I did not care about Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man. I tuned out. Because again, when you keep remaking it, I just get burnt out. It's the same old stories. Like, can we please move on? There's better stories out there. When are we going to see Kingpin? Like, I actually liked the multiverse animation movie that they came out with. Or the Spider-Verse. I actually really enjoyed it. Granted, I don't know. Miles Morales is not Spider-Man. But again, if it's a different universe, then fine. Then fine. Agatha, House of Harkness. Oh my gosh. I didn't care about Agatha. I didn't care for Wonka. Wonka. Willy Wonka. No. Crap. I'm forgetting the show already. Yeah, you liked Toby as well? Yeah. Toby was my Spider-Man. I grew up with Toby. It was cheesy, but I loved it. I really loved it. But WandaVision, there we go. It came back to me. So I watched WandaVision, and I was excited at first, but it got dragged out too much. And I didn't know who Agatha was. It's like I had to do a lot of research just to figure out who is Agatha. And it's like it's from the comics, and it's like, okay, I didn't get into the comics. So that's why I was super confused, just like I am now with the Internals. Marvel Zombies. The best episode of What If gets its own animated spin-off. So if I ever do get Disney Plus again, or if I can find it through other means, I do want to watch What If. And the only episode that there's a couple, maybe 2 episodes I want to watch. The Doctor Strange one I think is really interesting that I want to see. And then I think the other one is Ultron getting all the Infinity Stones. Matter of fact, there was a figure from Hot Toys with him, and I still want to get it. There's just something about Ultron having all the Infinity Stones that draws my attention. There's just something about it that's pretty cool. So Marvel Zombies could be interesting. Again, I'll probably watch the What If series eventually. So, okay. That's one I'll probably end up watching eventually. Agatha, I don't care. Zombies seems interesting. Baymax is getting their own. They might as well take basically what they're doing is taking the whole entire library, and then they're just going to make a series for each one of those movies. But again, it could have been done when the movies came out, when the initial hype of those movies came out. But now, again, in modern day politics, I'm concerned for all of it. The Big Hero 6 spin-off series hits in 2022. Baymax It was a good movie. I liked it. I don't know about the series though. I think it's past my time, so we'll see what happens. Miss Marvel, I could care less about. Like, here is the problem with Marvel right now. They are going with their modern day comic selection of comic books, which makes sense because what they're trying to do is, again, this is Disney as a corporation. They do not want to pay royalties to the characters that are already established. Because if they go to the good characters that they have, they know that they have to go to royalties. I am like 100% positive on that. So they're going to characters that they created post purchase of the Marvel brand, so that way they can get 100% profit and don't have to care for the royalties of these other characters. So I mean that's why we're starting to see like Miss Marvel and all these other ones that they've created. So yeah, we'll see. I don't care for Miss Marvel though. One that is definitely interesting though is Moon Knight. Now I am kind of biased towards this because, Avery, you'll know this too, is that I'm a big fan of Sailor Moon, and the Moon Knight is a direct, almost replica, one-for-one copy of the Moonlight Knight from Sailor Moon. So Moon Knight I am biased towards because it has that feel. Now I don't want to say it's 100% copy because I think the comics came out before Sailor Moon did, but it has that feel to it. And that's probably the only one I'm excited for is the Moon Knight. And it looks dark and it looks gritty and it just looks like an adult type of superhero, which is what I want. I want more rated R Deadpools and so forth. But again, that's the problem, is that Moon Knight is not going to be R. It's going to be maybe at best PG-13. Because Disney wants to keep the style of family friendly. And I think that's hindering them from making a crap ton of money. I mean, Joker kind of proved that. Echo, I don't care about Echo. She-Hulk, could care less about. And then all these other shows. So yeah, definitely Moon Knight is the one that I think I'm probably most excited for. But again, it's made in this era of Marvel. I don't know. I want to be excited for this, but I've been burned by Disney so much lately. Again, it's coming out, what is it, 2021? When's it coming out? Probably next year. But yes, here's the original comic. Again, I love how this guy looks. I love the cape. It's got the crescent moon on him. I really do like the concept of this. But again, it's Disney we're talking about. And that's just the corporation, the brand of Disney right now. I think they're going to mess it up. Because it feels like, from what I've seen from illustrations of this character, it looks like a R-rated character. Like a Deadpool-ish character. But again, I think they're going to mess it up. I think they're going to mess it up. But this will be one, too, that I probably will dig into like the comics a little bit on. This is probably one I'm going to research really well. Because I'm a fan. I'm a fan of it. And see where it goes. Right? And even the trailer looks good. But again, I've got my hesitations. And it's got Oscar Isaac, which I think he's a good actor. I think with a good director, with a good script, he can be a really good actor. Who's making this? I think that's something we need to look into. Who is directing? Okay, so let me just do like what I do with all my other shows now. I need to pay attention to who's writing this and who's directing this. So who is directing? Who is directing Moon Knight? Let's go into some research here. Then that can give us a better idea. created by Doug. So it's got a couple of people here. Doug Minich. Okay. So yeah, looks like it's Moon. Oh, Moon. Doug Minich looks like he's the director. So let's take a look at this history here. So he was born there, Chicago. He's a writer and actor known for Union Jack and the Batman Ninja. He was a writer for Union Jack, writer for Batman Ninja, and a writer for Youth. Oh my gosh. DC's Young Justice Phantoms on HBO Max. Looks like he did some episodes on Harley Quinn. That's the animated one on HBO Max. Okay. Batman, the Turtles, Catwoman. A lot of animated stuff, especially on the DC side. Mickey Mouse. Man, wow. Okay. We'll see. Looks like this is his first live action, like full-blown writing and directing it. So we'll see. Not quite a resume I was hoping for. I'm hoping he brings some of that Harley Quinn aspect to it. Because I know Harley Quinn, at least the TV series, anime TV series is good. But there's really nothing else that he's done. That's going to be interesting to see. Yeah, that's going to be interesting to see. Injustice. So he's got some video game background. Injustice God Among Us. He's done a lot of DC stuff. Huh. Well, that one's 50-50. Not a well-known director, that's for sure. Let's see, what else do we got here? Yeah, I'm excited for that. But again, optimistically hesitant, though. Optimistically hesitant. But let's go ahead and talk about the one movie. I kind of already mentioned it a little bit earlier. But the movie that's coming out next week, I think it's going to be really good. Ghostbusters Afterlife. I am definitely excited for this. It's coming out next week. The trailer looked good. It was like it was paying respect to the previous Ghostbusters. I'm hoping this will be the officially... it's been termed as the Ghostbusters 3, not that 2016 bullshit with the females. That female cast was cringe, too. Because I thought that was going to be a continuation. It's like... that was really where, in my eyes, the wokeness really just blew up. Because I thought, all right, we're getting another Ghostbusters. But then we see the actors like, oh, this is interesting, question mark? And then the reviews came out saying that, oh, no, this is not a sequel to the previous two. It's a remake. And that's when my jaw dropped, with no mention of the original cast. And that's what kind of led us into this fiasco. But, yeah, I am definitely excited for Ghostbusters Afterlife. It'll be the first movie I've seen in theaters in over 2 years. And I hope it does it justice. I really hope. But there was something else I did want to mention with Disney. And, of course, this has been covered by many great YouTube content creators. But the stock market for Disney... oh my goodness. So they were at, let's look at the 5-day. Let's look at 1 month. So let's look at it from a year. And you can really start painting the picture of Disney So this was back in March of this year. It's like a dip there. But this is the biggest dip. Let's look at the entire year. Okay, so this is from, so it's dipping again. Wow. That's crazy. Disney built so much momentum this year, and it's almost back to where it originally started last year. It's slightly above. So this is about 159 a share. This is 144. That's insane. At a high of almost 200. Yeah, 201. What came out in March for Disney? Was that the March. Was that the season finale of No. When did Mandalorian season 2 finish? I'm looking at this right now. Whoa. Echo. Wrong keyboard, by the way. Okay, let's look at Mandalorian. When did that finish? Season 2 finale air. When did that air? It ran on season 2, October, December 2020. So yeah. So when the Mandalorian, yeah, so that makes sense. So when the spike happened here, see, and this is what drives me crazy about corporations. This spike right here, December 11th. Yeah. So ran until December 18, 2020. So in this spike right here, you had the Mandalorian finishing off. And it spiked because of what character? What character that everyone loved to death came back and blew up the internet? I wonder what happened during this little time zone right here. It drives me crazy. The stocks even reflected when Luke came back and was treated with respect and was kicking ass. The stocks went up. The stocks went up. Like, I don't understand it, Disney. When you treat Luke with respect, your stocks go up. It prints money for you. When was Gina Carano fired? Okay, so let's take a look at February. Yeah, so this time frame, when Gina Carano was fired, again, very loose correlation. There could be other factors that the stocks went down. It's just evidence I'm presenting. It's not the 100% thing that caused it. But look at this. In February, they had a significant drop. I mean, granted, it went back up, but yeah. And then Disney's been tanking. Yeah. This is why I always advocate vote with your wallet. Vote with your wallet. That's crazy. On one day, 174 to 159. Disney won't admit it, but the stocks tell it all. The stocks tell it all. I'm bet you they're trying to gamble on this Obi-Wan thing, which I already ran on my rants on Obi-Wan. But Disney doesn't. The only way that Disney can really make a profit. No, I don't want to say profit. It's more. to recover is that Spider-Man has to be good, but there's a big caveat with that. Obviously, it's with co-owned with Sony. So I don't even know if you can count Spider-Man because it's gonna be shared between two companies. So, yep, I definitely agree with that statement. She was really good. I think given enough time and practice, I think she could have been, and she was supposed. Rumor has it she was supposed to be the star of the Rise of the Resistance, I think, or there was supposed to be a show dedicated on her character. Which again, they would have been printing money. Like, this is what baffles me. This is business 101. If you see what people are liking this character and you want to have subscribers, speaking of which, that's something else I want to dive into real quick. You want subscribers to compete against Netflix, HBO Max, and all these other services. You want to be unique. You want to be different from all the other ones. You had the perfect person in Gina. But no, you disagreed with her politics. You disagree with her on social media. You make a statement about it. And then you fire her. Congratulations, Disney. You just burnt X amount of subscribers on Disney Plus. You just burnt literally money. Stupid money. And these stocks are now we're going to get the last laugh. The power of the people. The power of money, It's crazy. See if I can find the article here. 3 days ago. All right. Deadline. Disney growth slows sharply. Service now at 1.18 million global subscribers. So Disney reported reaching 118 million global subscribers. Again, this is allegedly, because again, we don't see the numbers. With its flagship streaming service Disney Plus about 2 years after it launched. That's just 2.1 million more than the company reported in August as the end of the result of its fiscal third quarter. 2.1 increase. 18. How many subscribers does Netflix have currently? As of Q2 2021, Netflix has roughly 209 million global paid members, an increase of more than 16 million subscribers for the same time period. Oh, Disney, you are falling behind. That's what I wanted to see. Holy crap. Wow. So we have Netflix here that is utterly destroying the amount of paid subscribers in their quarters. Wow. That is insane growth for Netflix. And you know what? Netflix is probably even more because of Squid Games. Squid Games freaking destroyed the internet. And a lot of people resubscribed to Netflix just to watch Squid Games. I came really close. But again, the problem was Cuties. Cuties is a real big issue for me. And as long as that's on that platform, I'm going to find other ways to watch things on Netflix. I will find ways. But Cuties is a big fucking problem for me. But that's crazy that Disney only gained 2.1, whereas you got Netflix here that gained 15 million subscribers. Probably even more. The company divulged the streaming numbers as part of its fiscal fourth quarter earnings report. Now, granted, this Netflix one is second quarter, but I think it's safe to say that they did good in fourth quarter just by Squid Games alone. Let me see if I can get exact number here. Fourth quarter. Netflix added 4.4 million third quarter. So again, that's still double the amount of Disney. But fourth quarter doesn't say. But they got over 200 million subscribers. Oh, yeah, we don't have fourth quarter results yet. We do not have fourth quarter yet. But still, that's still insane. I'm pretty sure that's going to be a big number thanks to Squid Games. I'm mostly positive on that. Bob Chapek has signaled in September that subscriber growth for Disney Plus would slow. The company has made it more than halfway through its guidance of 230 million to 260 million global subscribers by the end of 2024. Chapek indicated that an appearance at Wall Street conference gains will be in the low single-digit millions, a decline from more than 12 million added in the quarter prior. Wow. Man, you went from 12 million to 2 million. That means I think all those free services that they're trying to do with like Verizon and so forth. And this just shows that Disney Plus has a retention problem, is what this is telling me. That they are losing subscribers to all this, have Disney Plus free for 6 months, so forth, and they're not retaining them to paid customers. Yep, and the average revenue per customer on Disney Plus also dropped from $4.62 to $4.16. When the company blamed for a higher mix of Disney Plus, whole star subscribers in Q2, part of quarter, yada, yada, yada. The boring stuff. Again, Disney wants to separate itself from Netflix, but they get so tied up in the politics of what their actors are saying that they are just... They're burning their own subscribers. It's simple as that. Because if they would have had their own show with, Gina Carano and would have paid respect to Star Wars and its lore, would have given us a Thrawn show. But again, it goes back to Disney. I'm 100% positive on this, that we will not see Thrawn in... Now, the more I think about it, the more I think we'll never see Thrawn in live action. It could be an icy take. But the problem is that with Thrawn, that comes back to the expanded universe with royalties. And we're already starting to see Disney not paying royalties to the EU that's already AK Legends now already. We've already started to see some lawsuits from authors not getting their royalties because of the expanded universe books. Disney's a really scummy company. I thought I'd never say that, but they are. If you read in between the lines, they are trying to nickel and dime every penny that they can. And it just, last I checked, Kathleen Kennedy is still the president of Lucasfilm. As long as she and all the other directors that work for her are still there, we're not going to see any changes. Indiana Jones is coming up, which continues to get delayed and plagued by problems. And this is where I say, never mess with Lady Karma. C is a B. I don't understand why companies are not giving what the customers want. We will literally give you money. We'll give you stupid money to have stuff that we enjoy, that we love. It makes me mad. And I just hope this keeps falling. Because Disney's going to have a problem because, Star Wars is kind of dead. We got Obi-Wan Kenobi. We got the Book of Boba Fett coming out first, which I've said my take on that. I don't care about Boba Fett. They have destroyed that character. They're going to destroy it even more. I look at the ship that he flies in. It's like, all right, we get to see Slave 1 again. Oh, wait a minute. It's not called Slave 1 anymore. It's called the Fire Spray. All right, we get to see Boba Fett do some awesome things because he's a bounty hunter. Oh, wait, he's not going to be a bounty hunter anymore. You said it best, Avery. It's simple as that. Go woke, go broke. It's that simple. Give the fans what they want, we'll give you money. They're not giving us what we want, so guess where we're going? Guess where I'm getting my entertainment from? YouTube, Twitch, manga. Manga has some of the best stories right now. Like, I'm currently reading through Volume 2 of Demon Slayer. Absolutely loving it. I'm rereading the Sailor Moon manga because that's my favorite franchise of all time. And I'm praying it doesn't get touched, which I think it won't. We just want good stories. We want good characters. We want escapism. We will pay for good escapism. And it's just getting to the point that, okay, you don't want our money, Disney. Look at your stocks, Disney. Wake up, Disney. Yeah. Netflix is another one. Again, my issue with Netflix is that it's got cuties on it. So, but again, if that's where you get your escapism, so be it. Netflix does have a lot of good programming. It's got one show that I love from Netflix was Love, Death, and Robots, or Love, Sex, Robots, or something like that. Or yeah, I can't quite remember. But that I love the short story aspect of that. And Black Mirror was another one that I loved. So it's like, it just drives me freaking crazy. You want to make money, but yet you don't give the customers what they want. So the customers are going to go elsewhere. We're going to say, bye-bye, vote with our money. Especially when, you know, I go back to the first article that I did with California. There are 39 million people living in the state of California. But it's hard to spend... It's hard to actually... Yeah, Forge and Fire. Yeah, that's another one. But it's hard to have spending money when the state, the most populous state in the United States, has a tax of 8.25%. The second populous being Texas. It's hard to justify spending the money for really crappy escapism entertainment. And then here is the real bad thing. You want to talk about long-term sustainment. If we're getting crappy shows now, the people who can actually afford this, which, you know, I would say, ballpark, that the average age of those that actually have spending money are usually between, I would say between 30 and 50. Probably, you know, some outliers there. And that's your general audience that actually has money to spend. When those who are able to spend money for these movies and his entertainment think that it's not worth it, do you think they're going to tell their children to watch this type of stuff and pass that along? Disney is going to have the biggest problem of sustainment in future generations. And the reason why I say that is because younger generations, they're not getting into Disney movies, into Marvel. Marvel is dying in the future generations. You know what people are reading and what they're talking about? They're talking about games like Fortnite, Roblox, manga, anime. Japan is killing it with the newest generation. And I think that's one thing that these companies are failing to understand. They're stuck in this now mindset. And when I think about now, it's going to take them a couple of months to course correct for the now. So by the time it is now, it's too late. I'm sorry for all the background noise. A lot of puppies. So these companies, these entertainment industries really need to start thinking about their movies. Disney really needs to start waking up. And then I can also, I'm not going to get into it now, but it's like you've got the whole political atmosphere too. Disney parks are expensive to go to. Again, let's take a look at the cost of tickets to Disneyland. Disneyland tickets. Okay, so it's going to cost you. Let's see if we get a better. Okay, looks like they've actually gone down. Okay, so Disneyland tickets cost $104 for 1 day. For 2 days, they cost $128 per day. 5 days, they cost $76 a day if you buy it for 5 days. That obviously 76 times 5. So that is $100 for 1 day at Disneyland. There are some great YouTubers out there that also highlight how expensive food is at Disneyland. Now, keep in mind, this is just for entry into the park at Disneyland. Remember how I told you California has a sales tax of 8.25%? Tack that on to the price of admission. Tack that on to the cost of food to get there to park. You get 8.25 tax to hell in California. Not to mention, if you want a soda, you're going to pay a soda tax because it's California. There's a reason why all these corporations that are smart are moving out of California going to Texas. Let's look at the sales tax of Texas. %2 lower, 6.25%. And they do a heck of a lot more, I think, with the money. But that's a whole nother debate for another day. So again, all this I just present as evidence into why Disney is struggling. The movies are having a hard time in states. Their parks are having problems. Let's look at Florida. Sales tax of Florida. Sales tax is 6%. Some places being 5.5. Again, that's a hell of a lot cheaper than 8.25% in California. Yeah. And you can see why it's just, I cannot wait to move out of the state. I've got about a year left and I can move. But yeah, it is, when Nerdrotic says it's about 50% discount just by moving out, that's why. Because California sales tax is so damn high. And I think that's why Disney is going to be suffering because of it, because their headquarters here, you know, one of their flagship parks is here. But we'll see. We shall see. Sorry, that is my rant on California a little bit too. But I hope this continues to fall. I hope this thing falls so far. How low can it go? How low can you go? How low can you go? Yeah, that's nuts. $104 for 1 day ticket to Disneyland. Again, that's not talking about the food in there, about the souvenirs. Yep. Yep, that is absurd. Absolutely crazy. Let's see if there's anything else I want to talk about. Yeah, that is crazy. Oof. Vote with your money. Vote with your money, and it's showing that the internals sinking to 70. What we call it, 72 something. Can't remember what that percentage was. That made me happy, really. It's like no one knows what the internals are. You have to Google it. You would have to read comic books to truly understand it. And like I said, in my rant last podcast about the internals was almost what 2.5 hours long. What's the runtime on it? Runtime of Eternals. 2 hours and 37 minutes. That is a long time. That's a long time to spend 10, 11, 12 bucks, 15 here if you're in California. You know, when I spent that much amount of time, I want to make it worth my time. Because again, we vote with our money, and I would also argue we vote with our time. You guys being here watching me rant, I appreciate you guys giving your time to watch this. Because time is valuable. It keeps running, and you can never get more of it. Can never get more time. And 2 hours and 37 minutes is a long run time for. I think it's actually the longest run time for any Marvel movie. I'm not sure about that. Longest run time for a Marvel film. Still could be Endgame though. Okay, yeah, Endgame. No, Endgame was. This isn't updated. That's why. 181. No, yeah, it's still Endgame. It's 3 hours. Okay. It's a 3 hour movie, but I think Endgame is definitely more valuable than the Dumb Eternals. I think the Eternals should have been a series. Because, again, I was watching the latest EFAP on the Eternals today. And it's basically, they try to introduce 10 characters in the movie for 2 hours and 30 minutes. You can't do that. You can't do that at all. I think that would have been a better series more than the movie. But again, it's happening in the same universe is kind of another problem. So, Fringy from EFAP, I think, said it best. So, the Eternals basically destroys the space lore or the space science in the Marvel universe. And then Loki destroyed the time aspect of it, or Endgame kind of destroyed the time of it. But, again, that's all debatable. But, for me, Marvel's ended at Endgame. That was the conclusion. You know, they killed two of my favorite characters, which was, again, spoilers alert, Iron Man, and I don't want to say they killed Captain America, but they kind of retired him in a very selfish way for a hero, but sure. The more I think about it, the more Endgame has problems for me, but it's crazy. It's very, very crazy. And then I like Doctor Strange, but I'm very concerned about the Spider-Man. Because like I said in my trailer review for the Spider-Man No Way Home, right now, our superheroes caused the dimensional rift. Doctor Strange is the villain in my eyes right now. Because he allowed Peter Parker to mess with time and to roll back time. So in my eyes, Doctor Strange is a villain, unfortunately, which caused Doc Ock and the Green Goblin and to mess up the universe. So we shall see what happens with that. But yeah, so we've got. So for November, we've got Ghostbusters that's coming up next. And then I think it's going to be Spider-Man No Way Home. Those are going to be my next two movies that I will definitely see in theaters. And let's see. I think that pretty much wraps it up. I don't think there's any other movies coming out that I'm excited for that I really want to watch. I think everything else comes out next year. But yeah, I think we'll call it there with the popular culture. I'm going ahead and start wrapping things up. So that'll be the end of this Icey Lair podcast. Thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate giving your hard-earned time to watching this podcast. So coming up for me, I've got the Triple C with the lovely Geeky Crochet on my Endless Collectibles channel. Links are down below. We've got our monthly podcast over there coming up this Wednesday at 6 p.m. 6 p.m. Pacific time. And then I'll be continuing with my releases on all my other channels. So I've got 4 channels. I got Endless Collectibles, Mall Railroading, the After Dark channel here, and then gaming. I'll be releasing another Kerbal Space Program episode tomorrow because I've got a bad urge to play that game, and it's all coming back to me. And then as far as this channel, I've got Demon Slayer Volume 2. Oh, thank you, Avery. Oops, that one. There we go. Appreciate it. Yeah, Kerbal Space Program Episode 2 will be coming out tomorrow. And then I'm currently reading Sailor Moon Volume 4. And also Demon Slayer Volume 2. So I think Demon Slayer will be my next one that I will release. Will probably be either Thursday or Friday next week that'll come out. And then Sailor Moon Volume 4 right after that. So, and whatever other crazy news we get this week, I'll try to get it out either as a separate video or on the next episode of the podcast. So, yeah, I'll be back same time next week, 8 p.m. Pacific time for this show. I'll see you guys on the next one. Thank you guys so much, and I'll see you next week. Also, wing hugs to all you beautiful people out there. Wing hugs.